This is LTV.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. EnterpriseBanking.com.
Hello and welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the City of Leominster. And yes, on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, we're live. And we have a couple of guests, which is fun and exciting. And, geez, any art, you guys? I was thinking about Art. I said, geez, there he is. Is Art there? It's time for the Art Report. Is Art here? Is he?
Yeah, I'm here.
I thought maybe he'd be on some golf course somewhere near the ocean.
No, it's that time of year now, you know. Got to fertilize.
This is true.
And then if you're doing edging, I always found that, you know, over the winter you'll have bare spots come spring. When I do some edging, I take what look like divots and I replace them, step on them, a little water. It solves the issue. Also change the oil in the lawnmower. You got to get that ready. And before you know it, we'll be doing the same thing to the snowblowers again.
You're a busy guy.
Very, very, very busy.
Yeah.
In fact, I recruited my 6-foot, 165-pound grandson, 14 years old.
Wow.
Come over Sunday to give me a hand. Starting tackle for the Keith Tech Broncos.
Wow.
Oh, I'll tell you what, number 79. It's amazing. That's all I can say.
14.
Honorary student, very polite, just a good kid.
Good.
And my daughter and son-in-law did a good job with him.
Keep him that way.
And, yeah, absolutely. And it was quite a day yesterday. Him and I went out in the yard. We worked. My wife went out with my daughter, and then him and I went out for pizza. They went out somewhere. It was perfect.
Wow, nice. Good for you.
Yeah. And I give him a little tip for the help. You know, I like to give him a little.
I
bet. He calls it paper.
I suspect.
He calls it paper.
I suspect you're a good tipper.
Yeah, he did pretty good. I told him, I says, I just gave you more than double what I paid for my first car. I slipped him 50, I'll admit it.
50?
Why not? Can't flip it when I'm not around, so I'm going to do it while I'm
That's
here.
right. Help him out while you're here.
You know, and he's, you know, thank you, Papa, this and that. No, I'll do that, Papa. I was trying to I was picking up brush and breaking it up to the size that they'll take it for the Monday pickup. And I couldn't snap it. It was about an inch around. He said, give me that, Papa. It was like he had a toothpick. I mean, he's such a big kid.
Yeah.
You know, he's as wide as he is tall.
Jeez.
So they love him on the line. And I don't miss the games either.
No, I know.
No. In fact, last year, and I'll stop the bragging, but I think I deserve that right. We all do as grandfathers.
That's right.
I was talking to him on the sideline before the game, and I noticed in warm-ups what the quarterback of the other team was doing. And my grandson was playing defense as well as offense. So I said, keep an eye out for it. And I said, you got to go up for the ball. All his passes are high. Long story short, they drop back the pass. They're going to throw it towards when my grandson is covering. I'm yelling. He goes up. Not only does he make the interception, he brought it in for a touchdown.
Wow.
They could hear me in Boston yelling. It was cool.
Ah, that's good.
But anyway, now's the time. And also fertilize. You got to get the fertilizer down.
Yeah.
Don't water it in. Just try to time it like I did mine last week, and we had that beautiful light rain. My lawn came in nice and green. It's that time. And if you have a bird feeders for hummingbirds, don't clean it with water. It's not good for them, believe it or not.
Right.
Use lemon or vinegar, and that won't harm them.
It's time.
That's it.
Time to start pruning back. For Cynthia's out, you got to get the oil on the apple trees and the peach trees and all of that. You know, we had some. I'm a little concerned about this season. We had those. It went down to 20. Remember, 20 below. And
yeah, that was something.
That wasn't good for the pitted fruit. That's not good for nectarines that we have and peaches.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I noticed some damage on my rose bushes.
Yeah. No, people forget it was in a bad winter, but we had 1 or 2 days when it was that cold, and other than that,
see, again, and the snow is like an insulation when you go down to that minus 20.
If it makes you feel any better, hang on, Art. If it makes you feel any better about winter, let's see. Where'd it go? Hang on. Don't go anywhere. Okay. No? Where's my pictures? In Duluth, Minnesota, it's officially the snowiest winter of all time. And the other day it was fifth, but they just had another snowstorm, and now it's first at 136 inches of snow for this season. And it is the snowiest all the way back to, as far as they can count, is the snowiest season ever. So
amazing. Something's going on.
100, and guess what? And it snowed today, so it brought it even over higher than the record, if you can believe that. Imagine that. Let's see what the weather is.
And I read something that Fort Lauderdale, where they had to shut the airports down, had 24 inches of rain.
That's insane.
Overnight.
That is incredible. We could never handle that. We'd be flooded out.
No.
Out in Duluth right now, out in Duluth, Minnesota, it's a wintry mix. It's windy. Looks like, let's see, wintry mix. Looks like tomorrow's the same thing, and then it warms up out there for them. So imagine that. That's 2023.
When it warms up in Duluth, Minnesota, it's 30.
It's July 5th.
Amazing.
And then it ices over in like October. So, but it's a beautiful place, nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Gotcha. Leominster's the only place going.
There you go. It's nice to be home.
Take care.
All right, Art.
Bye-bye.
That was Art from the Art Report. Always thought-provoking and provocative, right? No, not really. He's makes us think, though. And, yes, it's a beautiful Thursday. You have a chance to get out there. We're in week three of yard and waste pickup. And how's that work out? Well, it's like this. You can put as many bags. You know those bags, you can buy them at Lowe's. You can buy them at Target. You buy them anywhere that they sell them, to Home Depot. And you fill as many bags up as you want. You can fill them up in cardboard boxes and put them at the curb. And you can put them in barrels if you got those 50, those 35-gallon, anything. Just leave the lid off so they know, put them all together. And also, just do not, I know Plastic City here, and you cannot use plastic biodegradable bags or any kind of plastic bags because we don't know that they're biodegradable. So all those other things. Now, for, let's see, you might have some branches. Will take up to 3 inches in diameter. So that's good size, Top of one of these Dixie cups is probably 2.5 inches. Let's see. That's about 3 inches right there. Right there. Top of that mug. About 3 inches in diameter and 4 feet. Bundle them all up, and they'll be by to take them. Now, the other thing is we're not allowed to mix mattresses. You're allowed to put them at the curb, but we're not allowed. The end use cannot be the recycling plant or the transfer station. It must go to a separate facility where they tear it apart. And our contractor, Shaw, trash company, they have just purchased another piece of equipment. And so the problem is they put it out there and they only have enough manpower to pick it up a couple times a week. So some of these things are sitting out there. Sometimes they miss it, sitting out there for a week. We're trying to come up with a better way to do that, to do the pickup, so that on a weekend it looks terrible to see these mattresses out there. But we're trying to come up with a solution. I don't know whether that's we just do it a couple days a week. I prefer we just do it on like a Monday. Every Monday we just pick up all these things. I don't know whether the contractor can do that, but we are committed to getting these things picked up. So for some reason, if they don't pick it up in a couple of days, call our health department. You can call 534-7500 and listen to the menu. Just hit health department. Kathy will be there. She'll answer your questions. She'll get a hold of, or you can call our office at extension 0 at City Hall. Or you can email us or text us or message us on Facebook. Whatever it is that you need to do, tag us on Facebook. But we'll make sure it gets picked up because, as I said, there's nothing worse. People lean them against something, a telephone pole, a sign, a tree, and next thing you know, the wind hits it. Now it's out halfway out in the street. It's blocking the sidewalk. And not a very good look for our city. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back because, geez, we got a nice display here. Don't go, as they say, don't go anywhere. This is going to be a informative segment of our show, and then we'll update you as to all the projects that we're working on in the city, tell you what's happening right here at Inside Leominster. Be right back. Taking this business and keeping it open and getting it sparkling clean inside. And so here's our citation. We'll take a picture, and then we have our Access Television here today. And you want to talk a little bit about how you got involved here and what the services are, and if you're on Facebook or website.
Well, my name is Nelly Molina Sanchez. Being a resident at Leominster since 2005. And I want to be part of the community and give some of the community for what our experience in life we had gained, especially coming to the United States from El Salvador. And my husband and I, and my family and my friends want to share what we can give out and be part of the community, show what we got. Loving Donuts. And we are very excited and proud of taking over this little corner right here, but it is an amazing corner with all these people that comes here almost every day with the nice cars, show the cars, that's our thing too. We love all cars. And so it's very exciting to see them make me smile every day and make me wake up early in the morning looking forward to serve a nice warm coffee and donuts, muffins, breakfast sandwiches, and you can follow us on Facebook as well with everything that we post in the mornings of what we come up with mostly every morning. And thank you very much. Looking forward to see you guys in here. And thank you to the city of Leominster to be here and being part of this teamwork that we are developing right now.
So stop by. There's the sign. You can't miss it. It's full of love. It's
Full
full
of
of love.
love.
It's
That's
coffee,
it.
it's donuts, it's bagels and food, but it's full of love, right?
Absolutely.
So make sure you stop by and support them. Small business will continue to be in business as long as you support them. How's that? Huh? Look at that. You see that, guys? You cut me off and I finished it. I started the sentence and then I finished it.
That was seamless.
Pretty good, huh, Keith?
Absolutely.
Pretty impressed? All right, let's go home now. Let's go home on a high note. No, actually, we have some guests here from the Leominster Emergency Management team. Arthur Elbthal is the director of the Leominster Emergency Management. Paul Gough is the water pump team leader. Now, if you don't think water pump team leader is important when you got 8 inches of water in your basement, all of a sudden, It's important stuff, and it's one of the many services that our emergency management offers for the city and its residents and businesses. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm impressed. I came in here, I said, these guys, I'm a gadget guy. I like gadgets. And not a big as seen on TV person, because sometimes I look at those and say, I don't know, do those really work? But I'm a good gadget kind of person. So if I see a good gadget, A, I'm impressed, and B, it's likely I'm probably going to own one of those. So
Well,
welcome to the show.
That's generally the idea.
Yeah.
In fact, we went out and bought this morning.
So that's that's a pump.
It is.
At
Yes.
first I thought it was a generator, and then I see that it's a pump. So that's like a small mini mudsucker, I guess
Correct.
is what they'd say, right?
Right.
Now, how much was something like that? It's a Generac, so it's decent, right? Decent quality.
It is good quality, really considered one of the top of the line. Everything with the accessories, this is $350 right here.
With everything.
With everything.
Now, I don't know if anybody can see the accessories because they're on the ground here, but maybe we can get. Here you go. So, wait a minute. Muck boots included?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, I think I paid $100 or more
Yeah.
for mine. But anyway, so the hose, both the blue hose, so $300 for all of that.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
not everybody needs one of these, but some people do have that, spring season. I've even seen, I'm sure you've seen it, springs going through people's basements. The
exactly
old days,
right.
they would just
Yeah.
cut a little hole, and you'd see a spring going underneath somebody's
Right.
floor of their basement. And but depending on the situation, we've had some big rainstorms. We've seen people get flooded out, and I mean, not that $300 is nothing, but heck, I didn't realize for $300 you could get that.
Yeah, well, as we were saying on the way across here, you've got a couple of pairs of shoes stored in your basement. Good ones, maybe $100 a pair.
Yeah.
3 pairs of shoes.
Oh, people have
that
their
will pay for it.
Now, people have their decorations, different holidays downstairs, and kids' pictures sometimes in boxes that they haven't gone
Right,
through.
right.
And then all of a sudden they're flooded out. And now, how much will this particular generator draw down? Will it go down to an inch or so, or something you can vacuum?
Get it back down to probably an inch.
Yeah.
That's rated at 80 gallons a minute.
Wow.
So we can still take it out.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah, it will work. It will do the job.
So a similar unit in December, we had a lot of freezing rain and so forth in December, and we had a call from a homeowner. We went with a similar unit, not a brand new one like this. They had about 6 feet of water in their basement.
Wow.
Less than 30 minutes, we pumped it out.
With that same machine?
Less
Well,
than,
no,
sim-
I think one
sim-
to
similar.
19,
Yeah, less than 30 minutes. This is a 1.5 inch diameter suction hose, and of course, then the discharge hose. Just have a little sample here. We have the full hose there, but this
Right.
just couples on right here. So it's really very easy to operate.
Generac is a good name, too. They're big time into generators, and I'm surprised they can make a unit for $300 like
Yes,
that with
so
it. But
was I,
it's small enough, and how much does it weigh?
It's
Not
portable.
Not
You
very much.
can pick it up with
carry
one
it
hand.
with one hand,
Nice.
which is important because the other pumps we have
Of heavy.
weigh quite a bit,
Yeah.
and you're trying to get them into
Yeah. People get hurt, you slip,
Right.
It's slippery and
If
everything.
it's in the winter, then
Oh,
it's gonna
that's
happen.
wonderful. Now, when we have these storms, and this year we just, we lost power a couple times in different neighborhoods in the city, and we tell residents if you have a nebulizer, or if you have you're on oxygen or any of
Right.
these things, and you're starting to run low or whatever, give us a call. We'll run a generator up your house. We'll do whatever it takes to be able to help people out. And so this
Exactly
year
right.
was a busy year for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And as you mentioned, in some of those, and it gets intense in some periods, so might be intense for 48 hours, then it's blue skies and sunny again and so forth. But that's a rough 48 hours if
Yeah.
you do lose power.
Yep.
So
Well, everything today is powered up, right?
Right.
I mean, there's very little that isn't anymore.
Right.
They've made us dependent on the grid, and when it goes out, it's everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Of
Right.
course, when the power goes out, your sump pump generally goes out.
Right.
Then it begins to fill up your cellar, and that's when we use the gasoline-powered units.
I have friends that'll call me and say, "Oh, I need a generator. My sub." I said, "Don't you? I thought you bought a battery for you." Yeah, but that needs to be replaced,
Right.
So they do make battery systems, but they only last so long. So
Right.
these are the kinds of the services that we can offer at Leominster Emergency Management, and it's spring. We don't have a lot of, the snow runoff is pretty much gone now, but we do get those periodic storms, those rainstorms.
For sure.
That, I mean, this year we got, like 3 or 4 inches of rain in less than 24 hours. Now, Art was saying how much rain they got in Fort Lauderdale. For us, 3 and 4 inches of rain is a lot.
Yes.
Because we're surrounded by 12 hills.
Yes.
And once you get up into Granite Street, water doesn't absorb in the ground up in those hills. It's all granite.
Right.
So where does it go?
Right.
Downhill.
Right. And to couple with what you're saying, many areas that are downhill have reached that saturation point. And at that point, this is where this really saves money. Paul and I were discussing that just with the example of shoes. You have, 3 nice pair of shoes in your basement. You have family heirlooms, like you're saying, photographs of your family and so forth. So when these things are all lost, if we get to the point of 5 or 6 feet of water in your basement, it's a serious situation.
Yeah.
This can really mitigate that, can really keep that down to where you don't have that severe damage to your home.
Now, just for anybody that might be watching, it might not be that you have a flooding situation all of the time.
Right.
So some people are just in that, the water table is high,
Yeah.
water comes up, or there's poor drainage somewhere,
Yeah.
or they've got the downspouts from the rain gutters and they're
Yes.
clogged up, and now they're flooding over, and water's making its way into the garage or whatever it might be. But for situations like this is a good fix and worth the investment. The other thing is get things up off the ground in your basement if you have
Yes.
a basement, because you never know when that storm's coming, and trying to get prepared for it in the middle of the storm isn't always the best time to do it. But maybe you can get something that's bacteria resistant or something that's metal or something. You put wood. Wood isn't resistant to bacteria, and so
Right.
now you end up with, if it gets wet, now you're going to end up with molding and all of that. So
Right.
just little things that you can do. And so where did you get this? Was it like a Home Depot kind of thing? Or?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul and I purchased it this morning at Home Depot.
It's incredible. Have you started it yet?
No,
We
You
have
didn't
not.
fire
just
it
taken
up
it out
yet?
of the box.
I gotta. It's driving me crazy. I gotta see. Let's see if I have enough. No, I probably don't. At the end, I want to see how heavy it is.
Okay.
I'm fascinated by this little machine because I've owned like the big Honda mud suckers. Those
Yeah.
things will just but those are heavy. They're made to roll, not be lifted.
Right.
But they
And-
also do bigger, they pump out more water, but that's a perfect situation.
Yeah.
Now, you had some other things down here, like lights, and now there are a lot more rechargeable devices today.
Yes.
Phones,
Yes.
lights, flashlights. Those are things that you got to be prepared for because you just don't know.
That's exactly right. We have a lineup of generators, actually a considerable lineup of generators, and those, many times the best use for those are selectively, meaning, if you have a generator large enough, as we know, you can power an entire building.
Right.
But otherwise, you mentioned some medical equipment or health equipment, devices. Many people work from home, so they might lose power for 12 hours, and they don't necessarily, it's not vital that everything is powered up, but of course they need to be able to
Sure.
operate their business.
Right.
So we have generators, and people can give us a call. We can come down with the generator and properly install the generator, temporary installation, obviously, so that these home devices can be powered and so forth. And we've done that during times of storms, and especially these past couple of snowstorms we had.
Let's talk about it's National Volunteerism Day.
That's a great day.
Who better to talk about that than Leominster's Emergency Management?
There's...
How long you been a volunteer, Paul?
You were mayor.
Yeah.
I know that. So that doesn't give us.
You're eligible for a pension.
Yeah. I think 23 years.
All right.
Oh, 1999.
That's a
I think it
long
was when I
time.
joined.
Yeah, that's a big commitment.
A lot of people gone through the department since then.
But that's a big commitment. And there's a lot of volunteers, and it's what makes the machine move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not actually bad. I mean, you're not out every day.
No.
And there aren't enough people to fill in, mostly. Again, it is a volunteer organization, so you can't force people to come on out.
Right.
It's not like it's the military where you give the order and they come out. But yeah, it would be, if you can put the word out.
Well, that's
it
what
would
we're
be
going to do
very
right now.
nice.
We're going to,
yeah.
but it is fun, and it's giving back. It's a way to give back. It's a way to help new volunteers who might be, looking to get interested. And emergency management is different today. At one time, people had, more time to give. Like, you don't see a lot of fraternal organizations anymore. There are some, but even they have a hard time getting, membership.
Sure,
It's a different world. The Eagles and the Eagles are successful. The Franco Vets are successful. The Elks are still going, but it's not what it was in the days when they had the Moose and they had the Knights of Columbus, and they'd have a monthly dinner, and it would a couple hundred people would show up for it and have a band and all that. Today it's Paul, what do you mean you're going where tonight? Our grandkids got a dance recital. They got baseball. Can you take somebody here? People have living parents that they're helping out. So it's not the way it was, and people work different shifts.
Right.
And so it's all changed. So our volunteers really are if we could get an hour out of you, people can volunteer an hour a week. A situation where we train you, and then a situation where there's basements that need to be pumped, and they can come and help us for a few hours.
And
that's a good thing.
That's another thing, Dan. Do you recall during the ice storm?
No, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you
ice
do.
storm.
We had people standing outside the door on Carter Street wanting to help.
Right.
But you can't just take people off the street
and
say,
train them in
"Here,
5
you do
minutes.
Yeah, you can't train them in 5 minutes.
Right.
And while it was very nice of these folks to show up, once the ice storm went by, their enthusiasm also went by.
So you might think maybe you've recently retired, or you've got some extra time. And I say this in total sincerity: there's a place for everyone at emergency management.
Yes.
There's something. It's
is.
amazing. We've got ham operators down there, and back in the days of unrest and devastation in Haiti, we had people on the ham radio communicating back and forth.
Yes.
There's dispatches and data folks, and the list just goes on and on. Food. We have a canteen service that provides support for mostly fire to the region, but also to search and rescue.
Yes.
Anytime there's a situation where public safety are going to be out at any extended time, the truck comes out, the canteen, and the rehab, and they soup and food and drinks. So I mean,
they provided service for 85 firefighters last Saturday. Down at Sterling after they had the
forest
brush
fire.
fire.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's important because they need that. It's a standard today. They need that ability to stay hydrated.
Right.
And that's where injuries, come from. And you really got to be careful when people become hydrated, and with no relief. So it's not just a volunteer thing. It's a critical thing. They're counting on us to show it.
We're supporting a disaster exercise with regional fire departments at Fort Devens next week on the 26th.
Oh, cool.
And that's just an example of one of the things that we support. And we're fortunate because we actually even draw volunteers from other towns. So we have 2 people that recently joined from Lunenburg, and they've become quite active. They're actually attending our CERT training next week, Community Emergency Response Team
Which is
training.
a perfect way, as times change, a perfect way to get involved through CERT, because you can get trained.
Yes.
And then it's not something that, you have to show up every single week. I mean, look at Jim LeBlanc. 50-something years of, 8-10 hours a day, Sunday nights down there, cleaning the floors, waxing the floors and washing down there at the emergency management. And we do still have some volunteers that give a lot of time.
Yes, we do.
We also know that not everybody can do that. And so if you are all listening tonight and you're thinking about maybe volunteering, stop down at Emergency Management or call ahead and set up some time. They'll take you through a tour of the facility, which is the old Try Some Potato Chips. And you'll be impressed. When people get inside, you're like, wow, I can't believe this place.
Right.
Everybody that goes in there.
And just one thing to add, we're starting, we have a neighborhood watch program.
Yes.
We're starting a wilderness trail watch, and we're working with Leominster Trail Stewards. We're going to be working with the Sterling CERT team, some other organizations, the Boy Scouts and so forth. But we're going to have people on weekends out on the trails with us as well. So we're actually expanding our capabilities in the city.
So many ways to get involved at emergency. That's why I say there's something for everybody. And sometimes it's showing up, preparing food.
Yes.
We also run a shelter down there mostly when weather isn't so good. But then when there's a fire, the worst thing is for a kid to sit there and watch their house burn down.
Right.
And we take everybody to the emergency management, and there are, if they have to sleep, there are cots, there's food preparation, there are phones that chargers that they can use to call people.
Right.
But they're in one spot, and then we can put them up in a hotel if necessary till the Red Cross. Even the Red Cross doesn't operate like it used to.
Right.
It operates differently. They'd be here in 10 minutes before. Just can't do that anymore. The volunteers are coming from all over the place.
You know, one of the best examples of that is a fire. This was about 9 months ago, but one of the disaster survivors, the fire survivor, was an online college student and would have missed her classes. So we were able to provide her a place to work. Her apartment had just burnt down, but she didn't miss a beat. She didn't miss classes the next day and so forth.
No,
so
provide food, we get you a charger, get you an office if you need it, whatever's necessary to keep you going, and that's critical. And we need volunteers for that. Now that doesn't happen all of the time. We don't have 100 fires a year, and it doesn't mean that every time there's one that you have to show up. But at least there's a pool of people to call on, so it's not the same people. Then this winter we did our yearly pilgrimage up to the hill at the old Southeast School, now called Francis Drake. And a good thing we did it because we didn't have much ice. We had 2 nights that you could actually go skating. Yeah. And minimal on sliding down the hill. So once we got one good night, I said, let's get down here before, we might not have a winter. And so emergency management ladies and volunteers made homemade cookies.
Yes.
Not bought them at a store. They made them. And packed up the van, and the emergency management went out there, and hot chocolate and hot beverages and cookies, and we had close to 300 kids down there that night.
Yes.
300 kids, and
it was busy. It was busy, wasn't it?
Very busy when I heard him say, last cookie. Right. But it's a positive thing. It gets kids away from the electronic devices. Right. We all need to spend, every time I look at my phone on Monday, I don't know if yours tells you whether you're spending more time or less time on your electronic device. Yeah. Well, mine never says less. It always says, you spent 5% more of your time on electronic. I'm like, oh, man. Well, it's part of work. I mean, that's what happens. But so that's why I say there are so many ways. There's, and our emergency management center, there's really it's become a regional training facility.
Yes. Yes, it has. It has.
Every night I go by, the place is full. I'm like, what's going on in here? I walk in some nights, and CPR training, and for your own exercises and all.
Yes, we this spring, all the way up till June, we're actually have people training classes and so forth 5 nights a week at this point, Monday through Friday. We also it's where the state emergency medical technician exam is. They hold it there on Saturday. So this past Saturday, they had 2 state EMT exams. We do our response drills. We have a procedure, a 90-minute response drill we run through, and we test all of our capabilities in 90 minutes. Ends up being a busy 90 minutes, but we turn on generators, we turn on emergency lighting, we see who we can connect with in radio communications and in high-frequency radio communications and so forth. So we get it all done in 90 minutes, and that's a couple nights a month that we're doing that as well. So it really is, as you said, it's turned into a regional, has been for some time, but a regional training center.
So if you're out there and you're watching tonight and you have some time and you've been thinking about, I have some time, I'd like to get involved, give Arthur a call at Emergency Management. They'll take you through the building, set up some time, take you through it, and show you the variety of ways that you could be helpful. There are a lot of people who have talents to share.
Yes.
Yeah, we can use them.
And you can use them.
Mechanics especially, maybe electricians, but it would be nice to have either electricians, plumbers, mechanics be available. We can always use expertise.
Yeah, of course.
And for anybody that's interested in getting into the cyber world and digital mapping, we're looking to become subject matter experts in digital mapping. So we could call up a portion of the city digitally and focus in on it, zoom in on it, and then place icons on where things are and so forth. So if anyone has an interest in that, we just obtained some apps for it and so forth, and we're doing some training courses on it and looking to get into that in a big way. So people interested in cyber and digital mapping, we'd love to have them.
Do we still have that guy down there? I'm trying to think of his name. That has all the drones.
Yes.
Is he he's still around?
Yes,
Yeah.
Bob. Yes, he
Bob,
still
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
and drone photography, he's very good at it.
Yeah.
Very good at it.
That's amazing. So we
Yes.
have our neighborhood patrol, which
Yes.
check the parks and just go through the neighborhoods. Could use some volunteers there. So a simple way to say it is, thank you to all our volunteers. It's really the volunteers that are so helpful in this organization. We couldn't deliver the services that we do without them. So please, if you're watching and there's anything that you think you can do, the building is handicap accessible.
Yes.
Let us know. We'd love to have you. What did we forget? Anything that we miss anything tonight? No?
No, I don't.
Good. I want to lift that generator and see how I keep saying generator.
You want to do it on? You want to do it on camera so they'll see you.
I'm attached to this thing. Hang on. I'm like attached to this thing over here. They've got me like I'm on a short leash, as they say. Let me see if I can get this thing. I'm just curious. I know I'm going off camera right now, but I'm getting you. Hang on. Wow. Let's see. Oh, it's pretty light.
Yeah.
I mean, one of those smacking it against your leg as you're carrying it, but it's not something that you can't.
Right. It's an individual carry.
Right.
In other words, it's very portable. Very portable. And that's, we were discussing this earlier, that, the right tool for the right task, right? That's a big issue sometimes. In other words, sometimes you have a piece of equipment that you need 3 people to carry in and muscle it around. This one isn't. It's pretty much just about the right size.
Yeah.
And the rate of water that this can pump out of your house is amazing for something that small.
Well, we try to communicate. If we know storms come in, we use every means possible, including, what's that? Oh, I didn't put my mic back. No good. When there is a storm coming, we try to use every vehicle, including access television.
Yes.
We own a radio station, WLPZ. We try to use everything, Facebook, you name it, to alert people. And the National Grid has gotten better about ranking the storm and telling us exactly how long, what they think might happen as a result. And that helps because we can alert people and say, this storm is a critical, they call it a number 2 or a number 1. They rate it. And that means some people could be without power for 24 hours.
Yes.
So get those battery-operated flashlights and lights. So many things today are either battery or rechargeable.
Or rechargeable, yeah.
And so we put out the word, get ready. It's not to get you in panic. It's just to get you prepared.
And, just one note, the old wisdom, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. If anybody out there, a homeowner, is watching this, if they would like us to come out and just talk about how they would either prevent or mitigate water coming into their basement, we're happy to do that from emergency management. Or how would they set up a pump like this if they had to? We're happy to come show them, and we can bring one out just to demonstrate and so forth. So if anybody would like that, we're happy to do that.
Well, thank you.
And right quickly, from a practical point of view, seeing as I've gone out and done quite a few pump calls in my time, clean up your basement, floating newspapers, books, and especially grocery store bags. They'll get sucked down into the sump well, jam up the pump, and then you may as well not have a pump at all. So, just keep it clean.
There you go. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you to all our volunteers. It's National Volunteer Day, I guess, national, and we thank all of those volunteers that, churches and different schools and libraries and all the different city departments, and it helps to make the machine move. Thank you. We'll be right back here with more Inside Leominster. We'll update you on everything that's happening. If you would like to make a call or ask any questions, 978-534-1626. Look at me. Am I supposed to be over this way? I'm kind of not sending anymore. I'm messing around. We'll be right back. I promise. We really will.
thrilled. Natalie Higgins, State Representative in Leominster. I have got my own meal, and Sandra Neal is an incredible, zealous advocate for his business and all other retail operations. And I was so proud of all of the investment she's giving to our community, and so thrilled to see this succeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any day we have a business, not just opening, but expanding here in Leominster is a cause for all of us to celebrate. We don't do enough for our small business owners. We always need to do more. The Abramsons are vocal in the best possible way. They want their business to be successful, and they want businesses like theirs to be able to thrive here in North Central. So we're proud to present citations from the Massachusetts legislature today, and we hope they have a place of honor here at the business for a long time to come. Thank you. You're going to do it.
So I have to tell the story because it's important. It's open bar next door. Just kidding. So I was talking to the state rep, and I said, we had this big company move to town. I'm going to leave their name out of it because it really doesn't matter. But so when they first came and they met with us, they said, we're going to build this big store, you're going to love it, and we're going to get involved in the community, and on and on and on and on. So I don't remember if it was Sandy or who it was, but they set up months in advance for a grand opening, a ribbon cutting like this, at this particular store. It's a huge place. That's all I can say. So we get down there, it's cold like it is today, and it's actually a little colder, and there's 3 times as many people as there is here today. So we go inside, and we go like pushing the doors open because they didn't open the doors yet. We finally got inside. They didn't know like we were coming. They kind of like, what are you all doing standing in the parking lot? So they have walkie-talkie system. They call back to the manager. The manager said, I'm busy. I don't have time for this. What do they want? You know, like we were there in the Wizard of Oz. We came for our brain and our heart and our nerve. And and so finally they got a guy that was running the forklift from out back. And nothing wrong with that. And he came out. And the end of the story is shop local. Help these small businesses. It's what keeps them alive. Now, nobody expects everyone to go to a small business every day of the week. The days of the corner store, and you get your meat here, and you get this in another location. Those days are over, but you know what? There are plenty of small businesses, and if you can get into, spend just a little, if all of us spend a little in each of the businesses, it keeps them all alive. And, you know, oftentimes I'll get asked, well, how come we don't have this kind of store here anymore? And well, people stop supporting those kinds of stores. And there are plenty of people that want to get into business. They're just worried whether or not they'll get, you know, support, because without the financial support, and you're not going to make it, right? If you don't have customers. And I know everything is getting delivered today, and Amazon and big boxes, and it's convenient, and I can pick everything up in one place. I get it. But at the same time, empty storefronts and closed businesses do nothing for a community. And we've been fortunate. People have been very good about supporting people, businesses here in the city. Okay, we're back. If you have any questions about anything, any of our projects that we're working on, 978-534-1626. Hey, the first annual community ride is going to happen on the Twin City Rail Trail. It's going to happen May 7th. You can ride with your neighbors. You meet at Doyle Field at 11 o'clock in the morning. And the Twin City Rail Trail Association is going to have it up. And it's the first ever community ride, Leominster to Fitchburg and back. How's that? Pretty cool. We'll remind you more. Now, this is a great program. Red Cross is working with Leominster Fire Department, National Grid, and Sound the Alarm. They're working. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be installing free smoke detectors in your home if they're needed. You can request an alarm installation today. You can call this phone number. It's 1-800-564-1234. So it's 1-800-564-1234, and they'll be installing smoke detectors on Saturday, May 13th. And I guess they could use some volunteers. They're rallying up some volunteers from the fire departments and partners to sound the alarm. And they'll come in. And the other thing is the location of where smoke detectors go has changed in some cases. So they'll help you out there as well. Let's see what's going on at the library, because I think there was something this afternoon. It is the 20th day, and this afternoon, oh, it was at 3 o'clock. It was the Magic Awesome Rob's Pirate Magic Show. Tomorrow's Bubbling Chemistry with Seed Education at 10 o'clock. And celebrate Earth Day and make a bird feeder at 3 o'clock at the Leominster Public Library. Anything you want to find out about the Leominster Public Library, you just go to leominsterlibrary.org. And they already have their May schedule out. So if you want to jump right to May and see what's going on, leominsterlibrary.org. And we have this pretty cool newsletter that we put out. And it's called It's Happening. Get this now, Scott. It's Happening in Leominster. And if you look, Leominster, right? Leomin, in Leominster. And the next thing to happen is, well, right now it's the Indoor Farmers Market till 6 o'clock tonight on the 20th. And then we even had to change, we were talking about volunteerism. We've even had to change how we do things. So at one point, we'd pick a Saturday. It would typically be this Saturday. And we'd have a big city cleanup, and people would show up, and we'd send them all different parts of the city. Well, now it's kids got to go to soccer. There's scouting. There's flag football. There's CCD. And there's so many things that we just started to see things falling off. People couldn't make it. So now we put these kits together. And if you're interested at all, you can, you can call us at City Hall or stop down. And it doesn't have to be on Saturday. So next week, you got a nice night, you got a group of neighbors or some friends. Maybe it's the family that goes out. And I know our family used to go out and do Day Street. We go out and pick Day Street. And you leave the bags. We'll give you bags, gloves, T-shirts, nice T-shirts. Not those hard ones that you put on and it feels like you're wearing a pizza box. These are nice T-shirts. We had tons of sponsors this year. So you pick up your kit. We'll give you a location if you don't have one. We want to make sure it's safe for you. And depending on the age of who's out there, if there are kids, then we want to make sure they're safe and put them in the park maybe, not on a busy street. And then you go out and do your cleanup whenever you feel that you can. So maybe it rains on Saturday and you want to go out on Monday. And maybe you don't have time, but maybe you've got a couple hours on a Saturday morning or whenever it is. Anyway, that goes on for a month now, and it's we've been doing it that way, and it's really working well. So much, I don't even know where to begin. The Leominster Rec Department or the Leominster Public Library, Senior Center, they've had programs going on throughout vacation week, April school vacation week. We're already planning on things to do for summer vacation. Also, newsletters. I like newsletters. I look at electronic devices all the time, and the last thing I feel like doing when I have some time, I like magazines, newspapers, although there aren't many left. But here they are. Leominster Senior Center has this beautiful, I don't know, how many pages is this? It's got to be like 6 or 8 pages. Everything you want to know about what's happening with our active senior citizens is right here in this newsletter. Very colorful, well done. And thank you to all the sponsors for putting that on. Carla, welcome to the show.
Hey, Dino.
Hey, Crystal.
Hannaford was slow today.
Slow? On the Thursday?
Yeah.
I wonder why. You know why?
Why?
It was a nice day.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
People watch the weather. They say, you know what? I'll eat crackers tonight because it's going to be nice, but I'll be out having fun. And then maybe Sunday it's going to rain, so I'll go shopping on Sunday and I'll eat crackers and peanut butter until it rains. And my time's valuable. I want to make sure I spend it on nice weather.
I can't wait to see you for the grand opening.
Yes, when is it? Do you know?
I think Mark has it. You can ask him.
Well, tomorrow, I forget what time, I think 10 o'clock, we'll be down at launch. You going to be there, Scott, Mr. Scott?
I'll be there.
You'll be there, and yeah, we'll be at launch. That's where Toys R Us was once located. And I guess it's got trampolines. I haven't seen it. I remember the original proposal. Trampolines and bowling alleys and, like a mini Apex Theater. So,
nice. Have a good one, buddy. Want to tell Mark hi?
Yes, tell Mr. Mark. I said, looks good in there, tell him. I had a chance to go in there the other day. It looks good.
All right, talk to you soon, buddy.
Hannaford on Lancaster Street. Lancaster, Pennsylvania, they say Lancaster. Here it's Lancaster Street. Depends where you are. Okay, let's give you some numbers. 49,000 people were tested in the last 7 days in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Where's my little flinger? And there's the numbers right there. Top line says 1569 tested positive in 7 days. 17 deaths, one is too many. 331 in all of Worcester County. If you look at the bottom line here, the bottom, Leominster case count in 2 weeks. So we divide that into 2 into 7 days, and it makes it 8. Look at me with my math. Huh? It's National Day. It's the College Student Grief Awareness Day. International Pizza Cake Day. Lima Bean Respect Day. Look-alike Day. National Auctioneers Day. National High Five Day. National Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day. And Volunteer Recognition Day. 1971, Barbra Streisand puts out this record. We've Only Just Begun. People are still humming that song. We've only just begun. 1971, the United States Supreme Court upholds the use of busing to achieve racial desegregation, and Boston was at the thrust of all of that. 1977, Annie Hall, directed by Woody Allen. I've never seen the movie. Maybe that's what I'll do on a rainy day. I don't know when I'm going to have time to do that. But Diane Keaton is released, and they also got the 1978 Best Picture in the Academy Awards. 1979, Jimmy Carter is attacked by a swamp rabbit, which swam up to him, his fishing boat in Plains, Georgia. And in 1990, Peter Rose pleads guilty to hiding $300,000 in income. Heck, a player today, that's one game. 1992, Madonna signs a $60 million deal with Time Warner. Well, we have putting in on the national level, the federal level, putting in for a $750,000 community center on the east side on 3rd Street between 3rd and the new park. Field State grant for $250,000, fiber optics upgrades to all school buildings. Main Street bump outs going out to bid soon, completed by June. Barrett Park equipment replacement underway right now. The skate park landscaping to be completed. And then we'll be doing the Frankie Fontuna ribbon cutting at the new skate park coming up May 1st at 9 o'clock in the morning. Is it May 1st or May 3rd? I'll get it. It's in another slide here. North Nashua applying for a $3 million MassWorks grant for Marcello Ave, Tolman Ave, Hamilton Street, Crawford Street for a new sewer and water line and sidewalks. And they are working feverishly on, boy, they started the first nice day. What's the matter? 5 minutes? Or are you waving high? They started back work on Route 12 in front of Water Tower Plaza. Started work on all the paving projects throughout the city. We're on almost every section of the city. We're doing paving, and we're trying to get in front of the schools done. So we're doing 2 different schools, Northwest and, let's see, May 6th for the skate park. And also Bennett School, so we're repaving on all of those. So police station got an update today, making significant progress. Late June, July, we should have an official ribbon cutting. Just 4 minutes to go here. I want to remind you, Light the Town Purple, May 11th, and indoor flea market on the 18th. Indoor farmers market on the 18th, citywide yard sale on the 20th, and June 10th or 11th is the summer stroll, and Starburst on the 29th. Hey, if you have any medicine hanging around and, cabinets and stuff, bring them down to the police station. No questions asked, 10 to 2 on Saturday. I explained the yard and leaf. Tomorrow night over at the Eagles, they're a great organization, do wonderful things for the community. North Star Family Shelter, one of the only shelters in the area that embraces families. And they're putting on a meal for $20. You get a meal and entertainment later. If you come later, after 7, and you just want the entertainment, it's $10, I think, something like that. Anyway, it's this coming Friday night, April 21st, 5 to 8 o'clock. And we'll update you on some of these other things because there's something that's coming up next week. They have a spring wildflower hike. Call our office at City Hall, and we'll tell you all about what's happening, or you can scan that barcode. Art and Bloom, that's next week. We'll be there next Friday night at the Art Museum. Now, next Sunday in the morning, you can do the Beacon of Hope walk and go home, shower up, come in the afternoon, and come to the spring concert by the Montezuma Chorale at 2 o'clock. Here we go, pictures of the week. There's the new Depot Square Rail Trail Park. It's going to start at Summer Street and go all the way into Fitchburg. Welcome Dragon's Lair expansion of their business is doing really well up there at the Kmart, I guess the Twin City Plaza is what we call it. What a cool store. Go in if you have time. They're right up there. And we did a ribbon cutting, 50 Mechanic Street underway, recreating that park. That's a piece of property that the city obtained when they demolished that building, or we demolished it, and doing a little beautification, some green space on the west side. And there we are, bands in the round. And that Steve Ciccolini Foundation fundraising raised a lot of money, and they're giving it back to the schools. Here's a middle school presentation, and what a wonderful concert that was. Bands in the round. Stearns Ave paving right in front of Northwest School, all that area, looking to look beautiful. Safe routes to school, that's on Viscaloid Ave. Paving on Colburn Street, Pleasant Street, we're all over the place. There we go, and our visit to downtown Portsmouth, New Hampshire. There we are. We went to visit the town and talk to some of the, well, that's the mayor. He's and the city manager, believe it or not, is, you know, they have a different form of government. The city manager is somebody I worked with through the state agencies. And so we went down, and I think we gave them as many ideas as we took. And went down to Strawberry Bank, where my cousin works on some of the houses. They're restoring them back to their historic character. And we had a great day. That's it, kids. We're out of time, just in time. I went through, I guess, everything. We're out of time here at Inside Leominster. Thanks for watching. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. Thanks for showing up.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisInsuranceAgency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. EnterpriseBanking.com.
This is LTV.